Hello Libra, and welcome to your Taurus New Moon card reading. The new moon happens on the 22nd of April, which is also Earth Day. It is also the final 444 portal for 2020. So the first 444 portal was April 4th, then we had one on the 13th, and now we're having one on the 22nd. The first 4 is for April, the 4th month of the year. The second 4 is for the date 22, 2 plus 2 is 4. And the final 4 is for the 4 universal year that we are in. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0 is 4. So a new moon is a great time to set intentions. And because this is a Taurus new moon, it's an even better time to set your intentions around what it is that Taurus rules, which is values, the things that you value, the things that you value about others, your personal values. Finances, money, prosperity, grounding. Taurus is an earth sign. Earth signs are very stable, rooted, grounded signs. So this is a good time to work on foundations, boundaries, really looking at the things that serve you. This is a time of growth and liberation. As we're entering into the age of Aquarius, which is, a time of enlightenment, moving into love and out of like power, structure, rank order. The 444 portal that I mentioned is a time of really rapid ascension. So if you've noticed since the beginning of April that maybe you're not sleeping well, you're having weird dreams, maybe you're having some kind of physical things happen that aren't normal for you, maybe digestion issues, headaches, lethargy, low energy, kind of aches and pains that aren't really attributed to anything. Those can be ascension symptoms. With the new moon, the astrology that pairs with it is that Uranus is conjunct with the new moon, and both planets, the moon and Uranus, are in Taurus right now. Uranus is a planet of shaking things up, changes, surprises, expect the unexpected. Because Uranus is in Taurus, some of those unexpected things that are going to come up are around what Taurus rules. So, as Libras, you guys have a tendency to really want to put others before yourself and always focus on making the balance as attainable as possible. That you want to make sure that you care for others just as fairly as you care for yourselves. But the problem with that is that, life is not fair. And that, when we struggle with boundaries, ultimately we're struggling with saying no. And so people pleasing has a tendency to push us into saying yes to everything. Yes is what makes people happy. Most people don't like to hear no, but the problem is every yes you say to someone else is a no that you're saying to yourself. So as I mentioned, with this Earth Day 422, the new moon, this is a time of grounding and boundaries. So really kind of looking at the value that you place on your time, your energy, the things that you want, the things that you need, and just allowing yourself a little bit of liberation in that, it's okay for you to say no to others so that you can say yes to yourself. And that's really what self-value is, what self-worth is. And, value is one of those characteristics that Taurus rules. So I've pulled 3 cards for you from the Psychic Tarot deck. So let's get into your reading. The first card I pulled is the 7 of the Major Arcana, which is Triumph. And this card is associated with the Chariot. So, with this card, we see a man on a horse, and they're riding into battle, or they've just come out of battle. There's some kind of triumph, but this card is really about being carried. With the Chariot, the focus is the vessel, the vehicle that is carrying us to something successful. And so, you know, not to say that you don't have to do any work. It's quite possible that you've done a lot of the work you needed to do. And with this new moon right now, you're being carried into something new, something different, you know, something that it really feels like something that you deserve, you know, that you've worked really hard for either this thing, this accomplishment, to get to this place, to feel deserving of whatever it is that you're writing into, whatever you're entering into. So this is just a really positive card. In numerology, 7 is associated with God's source spirit, the divine. You know, so you, your angels are with you, your guides are with you. Like, this is, I mean, how much more positive can you get with triumph? That, you know, you are riding, you know, into the sunset, so to speak, towards just really positive things. So the next card that I pulled for you is the 8 of Pentacles, and this is positive forward movement. So we have a lot of moving. You're going places, and as we can see, they're both kind of moving in the same direction. You know, this man on the horse is going this way, the man in the ship is going this way. So this is really positive. I feel like this is just kind of confirmation that, you know, you're riding towards success, and that there's positive forward movement that's coming. So if you've kind of felt a little bit stagnant, which a lot of people have, because, you know, we can't really go anywhere, life is different, it's not the way that we are used to, these really good things are coming. Like, whether you're physically going to move into something, or if it's just positive forward movement in your life, in a task, journey, lesson. This number 8 is the number of abundance, along with this, you know, 8 of Pentacles, and the new moon in Taurus. Like, this is a time of like financial prosperity. This is really, really positive. The waters are calm, just like here, you know, like when we look at the chariot and the, you know, the soldier and the horse, like, yes, there's a little bit of chaos with the dirt, but like, we don't see any battle in the background. Nobody's wounded. You know, they're just triumphantly riding towards something, just like this ship is positively moving forward. So the third card for you, Libra, is this 4 of Pentacles, which is a card of firm foundation. As I mentioned before, you know, Taurus is an earth sign. 422 is Earth Day. Earth is very grounding. It's a very grounding energy. A lot of times, like those of us that are more spiritual, when things feel a little bit too heady, when we're kind of lost in our thoughts, when there's like kind of some confusion, the energy's all weird, we will take on our grounding practices. So for a lot of us, it's going outside with no shoes on. If the weather doesn't permit for that, walking around barefoot, even soaking your feet in water, and really bringing attention to your feet, because they are your foundation, you know, and just as an air sign, you know, very intelligent, thinking all the time. All the air signs are like that, overthinkers. You know, yours, Libra, presents in the form of people pleasing a lot of times. The things that you're overthinking about are like how not to hurt people, and is this okay, and what are the consequences, and what if I say this, and what if I don't, and how do I do this, and, you know, kind of really trying to do things from the perspective of preventing as much conflict as possible, almost like damage control. So with this new moon, like, you are coming into this space of growth and liberation, you know, because in sacred geometry, this triangle is the most stable shape that exists. And, you know, and it's no coincidence that this mountain is also here. Mountains are very triangularly shaped, because of that stability. And when we look at this individual, you know, they are standing up, you know, facing forward, and there's this huge mountain in front of them. And mountains are, I feel like, just a perfect example of boundaries. They separate land masses. You know, depending on the geography of where you live, you know, if you're someplace like in Colorado, you might be surrounded by mountains. Mountains are just this firm, strong thing just like our boundaries can be, that block things from moving where they don't need to be. So, you know, a mountain can block the wind. A mountain can dictate which way rivers flow. And so with boundaries, like, you can use your boundaries to dictate, you know, who you allow to interact with you, and like values comes to mind. That, you know, if you are having interactions with people that you can tell don't value you, this might be where things get shaken up by Uranus. You know, that you are being called to implement some kind of harder boundaries, some more firm boundaries, because, you know, the things that you're moving into, wherever you're going on these, you know, journeys, this forward movement, you really need to have a firm foundation in who you are to be able to serve the way that you're being called to serve here. So Libra, that was your Taurus New Moon reading. At any time, if you've got some unexpected changes, some surprises, some shakeups that happen, that kind of make you feel like you're being thrown off a little bit, I just want to remind you that, you know, these planetary transits happen, you know, for our best good. You know, God, source, universe, whatever higher power you believe in, uses these heavenly bodies, these planets, to influence changes that need to happen that maybe we're not able to bring about on our own. So you might experience some changes that happen, that are things that you have known needed to change, but you just couldn't make that change happen. You couldn't push it forward. You didn't have the willpower, or the timing wasn't right. So in those times that unexpected changes or shakeups come, I just want to remind you that this is all for your highest best good, even if it doesn't feel like it at the time. So I'm wishing you a really happy new moon, full of prosperity and security and, you know, growth. And I will see you for the full moon card reading. Bye.